Hi, welcome back to Desert DIY, and if you are new here, my name is Corey. Today I am going to work on this coffee table. I picked it up at a thrift store for $10. It actually has a stone top that goes in it here, but I'll have to show you that later because I took it out in order to get it clean and to paint it. But it's a black, kind of like a honed, leathery finish stone. I'm guessing maybe a granite. I don't know what kind of stone it is, but it's very beautiful. And the wood here is just a little too outdated. It has that like weird black speckly splattery paint finish on top of the stain, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So I'm going to be painting over it today in a gray color, and then possibly going over that gray with a dark wax, although the paint I'm going to use is semi-gloss, so I may not need to do that after all. But we will see. First thing I need to do is clean it, so I'll show you how I clean it right now. The legs on this piece have a interesting hardware on there, but only two of the pieces of hardware that are supposed to be on there are on here, so it's missing two, and I can't recreate that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and remove those. I finally got out those 4 hardware pieces, so now I'm going to load up my paint sprayer and get to town painting this thing in a light gray color. The paint I'm going to be using is a paint that I picked up for free from somebody who was giving it away. It's a light gray, has kind of a brown tone to it though, and it was $2. I'm guessing whoever bought it as an oops paint, and then I gave it away because they weren't using it. But it's a semi-gloss finish. The Bare Premium Plus paint is a really good quality paint. It's a paint and primer together, so it should go on in a very good coverage with a very quick first coat. I may not even need to do any kind of second coat with this paint, and I'm hoping not. Alright, I've got my paint gun loaded up, and I am just about ready to paint. I actually had to flip this upside down because I didn't realize it, but this piece has a ton of details that are difficult to reach with the sprayer because of the angle that they're at. So I flip it upside down first, so that way when I finish, I'm finishing with wet paint on the top. I'm not too worried about the paint I already did getting messed up because I can go right back over that, and it was kind of already dry anyways. Okay, I'm going to give my air compressor some time to catch up while this is drying, and then I will come back, flip it the other way around, and do the other coat from the top going down. Now that my paint is dry, I'm going to take my orbital sander and just give it a nice distress all over the entire piece. Now, the reason why I love the distress look so much is, one, I just think it looks good, and two, when you have kids, and I have 3, things are gonna get scuffed up and dinged up and messed up. So if you just go ahead and scuff it up in the beginning, then when you have it in your home with your children, you won't have to worry so much about if they leave a mark somewhere. If you try and get a pristine paint finish on something and then somebody accidentally leaves a cup on it or bumps into it, or you have a kid that gets really excited and wants to draw on everything and gets crayon or Sharpie on it, then you're going to be like, man, it's so obvious that there's something wrong with this piece now. Whereas if you distress it from the beginning, you give it that lived-in look right away, and you don't have to worry about somebody messing it up. It takes the stress away from your furniture. When I was sanding, I remembered also another reason why I enjoy doing the rustic distressed look on a piece is because you get to bring out all of the different edges and beautiful finish work on a piece like this. When it was completely gray, you could see the details, but they weren't standing out. It wasn't as, I guess, exaggerated as it is when you sand the edges. So when you sand this edge here, now all of a sudden this piece pops out to you. You see it a lot more. And on these legs, you can see all the different angles that they carved into the wood, and it just makes you realize the craftsmanship that's in the piece when all of these different angles and carvings are standing out. And as I was going over this, I thought that it really might look really good with a dark wax over it. So I'm going to consider it after I get the top on. I don't want to decide it until I have the top on and see what it looks like as it is now, but I'm kind of thinking I might want that really weathered finish that the dark wax gives a piece like this. But if it looks a little formal with the top on it, I might just leave it this way. Here is that stone top. I actually really like how it looks without adding the dark wax. The table is all finished and I love how it turned out. It is so like regal. I don't know why it turned from like this rustic, heavy looking table to something that was like super fancy. I love it. It's very chic. And by the time you are watching this video, this table has already sold. I sold this table for $85. A wonderful young woman came to buy it, and she was expecting a child, so we sat and talked about how my little guy was and how she's excited for her second child, and it was cute, and I believe it was her father that helped load it up, but it is already sold. I've made my profit off of the table, a pretty decent profit, I think, and she's super excited to have it in her home, and I love getting to meet these people who buy my pieces. It's like meeting people who like the same things I like, because obviously I liked this table. So it's just a good time, and overall I love meeting new people and talking about like farmhouse furniture. So that's one of the huge pluses to fixing up and selling furniture, is meeting new people. And if you liked what you saw in this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye!